fair market price is fair market price, and that's all there is to it. And this is probably one of the more frustrating aspects of property management in dealing with newer, typically more challenging clients. Often there are needs in the background for that client investor, such as how much mortgage they have to pay or what their investors are expecting from them. And they put that at the forefront, which puts pressure on the property management company to reach these expected rent incomes. Now, here's where it gets tricky. See, there's only three things that ever move property, whether it's for sale, for rent, and that is price, location, and condition. And so location's pretty fixed. There's really nothing you're going to be able to do about that unless it's some kind of mobile home park and you pick up ability to move it. Condition, more often than not, when it's been made in rental condition, unless an investor or landlord is going to do a complete gut out renovation or a moderate renovation, the condition is typically where it's at by the time it's on the market, and that leaves price. And this is where it gets so frustrating with owners who believe that there's some magic marketing pill out there that if you just said the right words, people will overpay for your property. Now, is there room to wiggle? Have we seen competitive rental markets and properties going for higher than our listed rent value? Yes, especially in that 2021-22 run, a lot of over asking on rentals, but that was just simply because there was a pent up supply of people looking to move and not enough, pent up demand of people wanting to move and not enough supply to catch up for that inventory rush. But for the most part, once things topped out, and they certainly did in the last 8 or 9 months, we're back to people reaching that plateau of how much they're willing to pay for a rental property. And I've explained this to my clients. It's when people buy properties, they are not buying the purchase price; they're buying the monthly payment. That's what they're really buying. They're buying the monthly payment because in the long run, how much they pay for the property really only matters if they're selling the property and they want to have equity in the property, hopefully, and not be upside down. But for the most part, if people are living in their properties for 7 years or longer, they are really buying the payment. And rent payments will only go so high and cannot really exceed purchase payments to a degree. Maybe 10 or 20% over. And I'm not talking about extreme situations. I'm talking about on the average, if a $400,000 home had a $3,500 a month purchase payment, that rent is probably going to cap out around the same $3,500. And we see this over and over and over again. And so the frustration for owners can be like, well, I want X, Y, Z for rent. And it's like, you're not necessarily going to see that. And our philosophy is a property should not sit on the market for more than 4 to 6 weeks. We liken rental properties to be like the airline looks at airplanes, which is, if an airplane sitting on the ground is a losing proposition. The only time airlines are making money is if that plane is up in the sky. So it's the same thing with a rental property. Vacancies are dead money. It's lost time. Now, these landlords and clients who expect, the person out on the 30th and the new person on the 1st, that's also a very unrealistic expectation. We can typically do turnovers sometimes within a week or two, depending on the condition of the property, how much we're able to work with the tenant on the move out. But generally, there is going to be a gap in time. Our goal really is to screen the right tenants, put good people in there, and hopefully get a two to 3 year or longer residency, which is the typical residency on average. So that's it. 4 to 6 weeks. If we can't rent a property in 4 to 6 weeks, then it's definitely going to be priced no matter what you say. No amount of marketing, drone videos, fancy photography, extra ads, the stand-up video, none of that's going to mean anything. In the end, the people vote with their wallet, and they're not going to pay more than the market's willing to pay. And if you don't believe me, think about yourself as a consumer and ask yourself, would you overpay for that product? Would you overpay for your property? Of course, the answer is going to be no.